Meanwhile, thousands of people are waiting for answers, all while praying for the safe return of their loved ones, including our next guest. Galiz Mizrahi joins us now. She recently lost her cousin, Nadav Goldstein, and his daughter during the attacks. Galiz, we are so sorry to hear about your loss, especially we are a world away, and yet this is so close to what's happening to your family. We're looking at a picture of your family here, and this is from a bat mitzvah, right?
Correct.
How many of your family members right now are unaccounted for or killed?
So in this photo, except me, everyone in this photo is affected by what happened. In this photo, there are 2 people who are dead, and some missing, and the rest are homeless because their homes were bombed or burnt down. This was the last time we were all together in my son's bar mitzvah this past summer.
And so how do you know who is missing at this point? I mean, I imagine information coming out of there has been so difficult to...
So what we were able to piece together when this all happened, my cousin, who is still alive, her daughters peered through the windows, and they saw 2 gliders with terrorists descend on the kibbutz with machine guns. And they started shouting, and their father took my other cousin, Nama, into the car, and they fled. So I have 2 sets of cousins. One was able to flee, and the other one listened to instruction and went into the safe room. So they went to the safe room and shut the door, and they had 1 cell phone with them, and my aunt was getting communication from them. We're in the safe room, we're okay. Then a few hours later, we're not okay. We hear gunfire, we hear the terrorists, we hear Allahu Akbar. We're hearing the commotion outside, but we're trying to stay safe. At some point, the cell phone battery dies, and they can't charge it because the terrorists cut the power, and there was no power into the kibbutz.
And so at that point...
They're in there, no
and they're
contact.
in there together.
They're in there together. 2. Correct. The whole family.
The whole family's in there.
What we know. What we know.
Did they find everybody?
No. So at first, for about 30 hours, we have no communication with the family. We don't know what's happening with them. We just know that they were all together in the safe room. 30 hours go by of no self-communication, can't reach government officials, can't reach the military. We don't know what's going on with our family, and my aunt and uncle don't know what's going on in the kibbutz in general. We have no idea what's going on. The last text message that my aunt got was, we don't want to die, we're afraid, and our battery's about to die. That's all she knows. That's the last text message that she got. And so fast forward 30 hours later, we get, the family gets a call from the government official that there are 4 bodies in the house and that 2 are unaccounted for. That's what we're told. We don't know what that means. Which bodies, who's there, we have no idea. That's all we get. And we're in the process of processing this information, and then fast forward a few hours later, we get another confirmation from the IDF that there are 2 bodies in the house and 4 are unaccounted for. And they were able to ascertain that the 2 bodies in the house is my cousin Nadav and his oldest daughter Yam.
And so who's missing?
So missing is Chen, his wife, his 17-year-old daughter, and the 2 little boys, Gal and Tal, ages 9 and 12.
9 and 12. And at this point, you have heard nothing.
We've heard nothing. Missing, by Israeli terminology, could be dead somewhere, unrecognizable, don't know where they are, or kidnapped and taken across the border. That's what the missing category falls under.
And at this point, you haven't seen them serve, because one of the most difficult things I imagine for a family is you're looking for information, and yet you've got to be terrified that you're going to open up your phone or see an image of someone kidnapped, and it's going to be a family member.
And it's happening more and more. They have not seen any of that, which is even more bewildering, right? Because on all the social networks, somehow other people in Israel have been even able to see glimpses of their loved ones taken away. It's like they disappeared from the face of the earth, right? The wife and the 3 kids. We have no information. My aunt and uncle, who were vacationing in Europe, are back in Israel at a friend's house, and they're just working the phones. And I can't imagine the anguish that anybody has to go through to try to figure out where the hell are my children? Like, where are my grandkids? Like, who has them? Are they, in a ditch somewhere and I can't get to them? Or were they taken hostage, and where are they? There is no information, and until this moment, no one has reached the family to address the missing.
And as it stands right now, let's say best case scenario, they're in Gaza and they are alive. And yet we're now seeing forces on the border getting ready to go in. It's a very precarious situation. There are airstrikes. We know that Hamas uses humans as shields. We know that they have threatened to execute hostages. How are you feeling about the chances of their return? I
haven't even wrapped my head around that, right? Because I don't think we've ever encountered a situation in the modern world that I've lived in where innocent civilians, women and children, has been taken hostage as a bargaining chip, whether it's my family or someone else's family, right? So we're kind of customized to war and exchanges of soldiers. We've heard that story. I don't recall this kind of situation. I don't know if Chen is with the boys, or were the boys taken somewhere else? Were they separated? Are they together? Did they injure the women like we've been hearing on the news, or they haven't? Like, there's no information. For those who know that their loved ones have passed, at least there is some solace in knowing here they are, we're going to give them a funeral. Here's what's happening. The unknown, right? There's over 150 people that were kidnapped. We think. We don't know. This is not, my story is not the only story. There's countless of people who are posting on the World Wide Web, on Facebook and Instagram, last seen, da-da-da-da. Have you seen, da-da-da-da? Hundreds, and we don't know where they are. It's undescribable.
I can't imagine. And thank you so much for sharing their story. And we are praying fiercely for a miracle. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.